Welcome everybody to Dinner in 15. We forgot to
Ciao.
tell everyone where we were in our waiting room. Thank you for being in the waiting room, guys. So that way you're ready to rock and roll. Welcome everyone else, all of our new followers. We have thousands of you guys following us, and that makes us feel really, really happy, right?
Yes.
And it's an invitation for us to become even wilder. Dinner in 15 is a live session, one sequence, no cuts, unless someone of us says stuff that is dangerous to go public, and at that point we might cut. It's like, but there is no censorship. Today, Amarone della Valpolicella from the Tedeschi family, Marne 180. I'll tell you all about this name because the name of the wine says it all. Risotto all'Amarone.
All'Amarone, very classic for your lover, for your friend. So I will show you how to make a quick risotto, a terrific risotto, al dente as we like.
Al dente as we like.
So,
now, risotto all'Amarone is a little bit of a luscious, luxurious risotto to make because Amarone is like a very important wine, but
yes,
we can afford to do that because that's our business. So
we like this thing. And this is a base, actually. You could enrich this risotto, if you like, with some mushroom, if you have at home, or with some duck breast on top.
Perché no?
Perché no? But for now, I will start to toast a little bit our rice.
So we'll talk about that later again, Sarah, because
Si.
right now let's focus on the risotto, but that's already good ideas that you just gave us about becoming a little bit more complex if you wanted to, if you wanted to make the dish a little bit richer. And so the rice goes in the pot for a few minutes.
For one minute, it has to toast a little bit. And then after that, I will add the water, which has to be triple amount and then the rice. So 3 to 1.
3 to 1. And our followers know, people that have been following Mama Bali for quite some time now, know that we like this idea because it's a very simple way not to be worried too much about stirring around.
Exactly. If you have any question or any doubt, you can write to us. We will answer as soon as possible, even live now on our chat. Or you can go to our site or subscribe our channel, and you will have all the answer that you need.
Everything is there, and don't refrain from getting in touch with us if you want to come. If you want to cook privately online with Sarah and I, just give us a shout.
Please
if
come.
you want to come to our live kitchen here in Florence, give us a shout.
Yeah.
Now, the rice goes in here with nothing else. In the past, some people say, like, don't you use any wine in this case, we use wine for flavor.
Sì, esatto.
Right?
Esatto. We will add a little bit of Amarone now.
You just want it now?
Because we like the color.
Sabrina. Sabrina is, and Tedeschi.
It's my fault.
It's her fault.
It's my fault. I will take all the responsibility of this.
My heart is bleeding right now, but promise, it's for the greater good. It's for the greater good, and sometimes, above all, when people are by themselves at home and only a couple, it could be a little bit too much to have a bottle. So a glass of Amarone for the rice, I think we can spare it.
Yes, if you like just to play with wine and food, if you don't have nothing at home in your fridge but rice, cheese and butter and a bottle of wine, you can play with all these ingredients, right?
A lot of people use cheap wines to cook. Now, our idea, because Sarah and I share, va bene questa quantità?
Sì, perfetto.
Okay, so look, it's not that much. Voila. So that was your share that I was going to give you. So for you today, I'm kidding. I'm just going to add up a little bit of Amarone for Sarah.
And then the water.
Subito, straight away.
Subito.
You see, I was gonna do it. I I would have let the rice steam off the alcohol, but this time you don't.
No, no, no. I like that everything stay inside.
Molto bene, so this is secret number 1.
Can you give me some salt, please?
Allora, salt, a pinch.
This is the secret number 1, see, because this wine is so good that I wanted to taste it.
Okay, so secret
In the
number 1
rice.
is that one, a pinch of salt, and then you close it. So at
Cover
this point, you cover it, and then later on you're just gonna add up the cheese and then the butter.
And the butter. And I forgot the secret number 2.
Bay leaf.
Bay leaf.
The bay leaf is actually the smell of bay leaf, just when you rip it off the plant, is what you get a lot of the times in great wines. Think about it next time you go for it. Now, let's talk about the wine for a second. Amarone della Valpolicella of the Tedeschi family. Amarone is a DOCG of Italy. There used to be 1 million bottles in the late 90s. Today, the appellation goes for 14 million bottles of wine. Amarone is a recent discovery, shall we say. The Valpolicella is a beautiful amphitheater north of Verona that stretches from the west, where there is the Lake Garda, that makes this area a Mediterranean area. But like on top of the amphitheater, you have 2 towers, the Monte Baldo and the Monti Lessini, 2,000 meters above the sea level. Right behind them, you have the Alps. But stay with me for a second. Now, in the Valpolicella, you have 13 different valleys. The wind that comes from the Alps is gonna be channeled into the valleys, having an incredible excursions between day and night. If you were to go in Valpolicella right now in summertime, during daytime it's gonna be scorching, really super hot, but at nighttime you'll need a little jumper because of this wind. And that's secret number 1 to make a good Amarone or Valpolicella, temperature excursions. What else is there is the grape varieties. There is a dozen indigenous varieties in Valpolicella, a dozen. The most important ones are Corvina, Corvinone, Rondinella, Molinara. In this case, this wine is produced with 30% of Corvina, 30 Corvinone, 30 Rondinella, and then there is a 10% of blend of Oseleta, Dindarella. There are other indigenous varieties. But I didn't actually tell you the most important secret of Amarone della Valpolicella. Back in the days, 2,000 years ago, the Romans, the Etruscans before the Romans, were making dessert wine, red dessert wine, Risotto in the area. Why? Because the maturation in such a high latitude vineyards was impossible. So the Romans understood that they had to go for a second maturation. So they were getting the berries, putting the berries in the cellar, and let the berries dry for at least 100 days. In this case, there is 4 months, 3 months of aging. It depends on the year. What happens during that moment? The water is going to evaporate. The grapes are going to shrivel, right? And during that moment, not only you're going to concentrate the sugars, not only you're going to concentrate the tannins, not only you're going to concentrate acidity, so everything is going to concentrate, right? And also, if you don't bring good fruit in the house, also the bad stuff is going to concentrate, which is not the case here. This wine is all about the black cherries, the prunes, a little bit of that. Now I have the bay leaf in my hand, but it's also menthol, a little bit of eucalyptus and tea tree oil, and some spices, some cinnamon and nutmeg are here. So very complex aromas. Once the berries are dried, what happens is this. You're going to get the berries, you're going to start pressing the berries, making wine like a regular wine. But the fermentation is going to go on for 30, 40 days. 30, 40 days of fermentation, and after that, the sugars will be transformed into alcohol, a lot of alcohol. Here is 15, actually 16 and a half. You don't even perceive it. I'll tell you why in a second. And CO2. CO2 goes away, and there you go, wine. 3 years in big Slavonian oak casks. So big cask like this kitchen big. You can get anything between 3,000 and 7,000 bottles in a cask. The oxygen is going to get into the cask very slowly, making simple aromas into more complex chains of aromas. That's how fine wine is developed. And at that point, there's going to be some bottle aging, and the wine is ready to go to market. Why is it called Amarone? Because given that the first wines produced in the area were Risotto, dessert wine, sweet wine, Amaro in Italy means bitter. So Amarone was like, once they found this wine, the dessert wine was actually became dry because all the sugars were eaten by the yeast. The word Amarone came out. So Amarone della Valpolicella, from Valpolicella. Marne is the type of soil that you can find here. So marl is kind of like a super tough soil, but also with a lot of drainage. The soil was originated from 200 million years ago. 200 million years ago, and then another like earthquake arrived, so 100 million years ago, and then a volcanic explosion underwater 40 million years ago, and that's the incredible complexity of Valpolicella. 180 is the exposure of the vineyard Marne 180 that has got 180 degrees of exposure towards the sun. So I think I said it all. This is a beautiful wine. The aromas are coming. I love this because you have a combination of the bay leaf is really strong. Like right now, the bay leaf is really strong. The smell of Amarone and also the rice.
Sì, è vero.
Buy rice, buy Italian rice if you can. Italians are crazy about their food, so the selections are always very different, but the origin of your raw ingredients is going to make a difference in what you make. The thing about Amarone is that there is almost like no tannins. Corvina, Corvinone, Rondinella, Molinara, they don't have much tannins. So it's a big structured wine with a super velvet. Like the thing about Valpolicella, think about in terms of texture is velvet. And I can't wait to lay this velvet on a nice portion of risotto.
I have to tell you the truth, we are running a little bit late with the rice, so I took off the cover
To let it off.
Yes.
Okay. I can actually handle this if you want.
Thank you very much.
I know you want to go. Okay.
I will be back in a second.
Go for it. Now I'm the king of the house.
No! I'm back.
Okay. So let it go. So Sarah said basically, I think she was hypnotized by this history of Amarone, right?
Yes.
So totally
No,
hypnotized.
I love Valpolicella. I have been several times visiting the vineyards,
Okay.
but I have to tell you the truth, I have never been to Tedeschi and I would like to go.
And I'm sure Sabrina and brothers would love to have Sarah over. I just got back from Verona a couple of days ago, and risotto alla Amarone is something that you can find in the families, like restaurants,
Certo.
fine dinings, and simple trattorias.
Sì. Sì, it's true.
And this stuff is so simple. Sarah says very, very often that in the kitchen, when you want to cook, you need 3 ingredients, and that's what we have today.
Yes.
Amarone, formaggio, and butter.
To have the perfect dish, as the spaghetto al pomodoro, you need spaghetto, tomato, and basil. And then...
So can you make spaghetti pomodoro without any like garlic or onion? And you can
See, of course.
rich flavor. Yeah, see?
Sì. If you have a very good kind of ripe tomato, you can reach a perfect spaghetto al pomodoro.
This reminds me, Sarah, while you're going for our risotto to steam off, I'm going to take my wine away from you. By the way, this morning, today here, I don't know where you guys are in the world, but today here in Italy is really hot. So I put the Amarone in the fridge for 20 minutes. Don't be scared. Never be afraid about handling your wine the way you like. A lot of restaurants, a lot of people don't like to see reds in the fridge because of some stereotypes. But when it's hot and humid, you need to refrigerate your wine. Gabriele, forse vogliamo fermare un attimo Lì.
I need
Grazie.
1 minute more.
We have an extra minute to go today, so it's going to be dinner in 16 instead of dinner in 15, but it doesn't matter. You go for the amount of time that you need, also because I want to taste it properly.
Thank you.
Questo è per te.
Thank you very much.
What I was going to say, that, yes, about the alcohol. I was kind of like surprised to see this wine that is 16 and a half. This is like natural alcohol. But the great thing about fine wine is the following, guys. Do not look at labels. What am I trying to say? If you see a Riesling, a German Riesling that is 7.5 in alcohol, you might say, or a Moscato d'Asti with 5.5, you might say, oh, that's not enough alcohol. There is never such a thing. Like the elements of wines, one element of wine is not gonna make a good wine. It's a matter of balance and harmony. If you have good enough structure, good enough extraction, extractive power, then you're not gonna perceive the alcohol content. Unless you down the bottle by yourself, then you will feel really, really kind of like hot. Risotto is coming.
I'm adding the butter. Don't be afraid about adding butter when you are doing the risotto. It's never enough.
And Sarah is going some kind of what we call here risotto all'onda. Right now there is a wave.
There is a
that
wave.
I think,
There you can see.
Lo sai che a Venezia I went into a restaurant and I saw the chef. The only thing that he does is just risotto. He does a wave that is like, it's like the
Very
wave goes
high.
like all the way up high.
Sì.
Crazy bonkers. Ok, e adesso si va col formaggio, il profumo. In the
Ooh la la.
meanwhile, perfumes are coming out.
Posso avere un altro piatto bianco, per favore?
Zac, what about this? Grazie Milo. Lo tengo io. Voilà, che almeno prepariamo per far vedere il piatto. I'm here at your service.
Thank you. No, you're here waiting for the risotto.
No. Of
Sì,
course
sì,
no.
sì.
And
And then it should rest for a minute. We don't have time. It will be dinner in 17.
so go for it, darling. Right now, I'm getting on top of the cinnamon also a touch of vanilla. Not the vanilla, the artificial vanilla, but the vanilla stick in this wine. The Tedeschi family has been working really hard to discover the science behind the varieties of Amarone, della Valpolicella, and about the aging process. There is something amazing about Amarone della Valpolicella. When you dry the grapes, the resistance of the skins to the attack of the noble rot is actually making the grapes develop more tertiary aromas, like the tea tree oil, for instance.
Would
There
you
is so
like
much
some-
to learn.
Sorry. Would you like some black pepper?
I like to do this. I feel like there is a beautiful movie that is called Big Night.
Sì.
I don't know, you watch that movie?
Yes, of course.
Where there is the two Italians,
With
one cooking the American
Isabella
style.
Rossellini waiting for Luis Prima.
Bellissimo.
Bellissimo, sì.
Allora, io vado di cucchiaio, come sai, mi piacciono i miei risotti col cucchiaio. Gli diamo un colpettino.
This is very 80s.
A me piace fare a little bit of the chef. Pronto?
Pronto? I will taste it as the chef do.
Okay.
From the pan.
Let me try the matching. Reason why it's good and why it works.
È bellino.
It works because it's simple. It works because it's intuitive. It works because you have these beautiful black and blueberries coming off the risotto. It's a little bit of a distillation of the perfumes and the flavors of Amarone in a dish. And does it work with the wine? Well, this is one of the things. Whenever you use wine in your cooking, the same wine, chances are that it's going to work. There is an incredible floral touch that comes through the risotto that I wasn't expecting to find.
It's the butter, maybe. Butter and cheese.
It's the combination of butter and cheese, and I think the bay leaf is helping, pushing for these Mediterranean herbs flavors. Sarah, nothing else to say.
Thank you.
Amici, if you haven't done it yet, follow us on our social media.
Yes.
Subscribe our YouTube channel and stay with us for more tips, tricks and love.
Thank you.
Here at Mamably.
Ciao.
Grazie Sara, fantastico.
Grazie Filippo.